Well, I've You're don't want to get a copyright strike. I did a stream a week ago, right? Feels like forever. Hmm. Oh, I got a Shazam. What's up, John Launter? Not much. Just doing a stream in a minute, a week, really. Many minutes in a week, isn't it? It's like 1,200, 1,300 minutes a day. Maybe even more than that. I can't do math. Oh, yeah, 1,440. Yeah, 10,000 minutes. The primal man should scream once in a while. It marks your territory in the forest. Actually, that's why you make a tinkle on the ground. Actually, that's what marks your territory. Tinkle. You mark territory with sense, not screams. Yep. Yep. Oh, no, they're all flooding in here. I drank old raw milk. Tasted bitter. Yeah, I mean that's pretty normal, John. What do you have to say about eye bags and how to fix them? Because ultimately it's a signifier. I don't know. What do you mean it's a signifier? I mean, I think it probably has more to do with sleeping. I think a lot of people aren't sleeping as good as they could be. I'm not an exception to that. I don't know. I'm looking here. Weakening tissues, shifting fat into lower lids, lack of sleep, allergies, high salt diets. So, I mean, water retention leading to swelling. I don't know. It could be a lot of things. For me, I think it's I don't sleep so well all the time. An underlying issue. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Like what issue specifically? I mean, if you think eye bags are an underlying issue, how do you can't say eye bags are an underlying issue if you don't know what causes them. If you know eye bags are an underlying issue, then you know what it's downstream from. Therefore, you should be able to fix it and not ask me this question. I don't know. I'm looking it up and it just says high salt intake and bad sleep, reduced hydration, too much fluid retention. So, yeah. Kidney? Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. No idea. Um, I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really into the looks maxing stuff. I'm not really into like, obviously, like grooming myself. I don't really care what people think about my appearance for the most part. I'm not gonna like be worried about eye bags. Is it an issue downstream of something serious? I don't know. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. Thoughts on the new cruise? Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're not going to talk about that here. There's really nothing to talk about. I mean, you all know it. I mean, if you're on this channel, you know what I'm going to say about that. It's really there's really no reason to talk about it. It's just a waste of time, and I'm not going to get any strikes on this channel. So we're going to keep it clean here. I seem high cortisol. Not really. What? Because people ask stupid questions and I give them a rational answer? You want to ask about sensitive topics on, one of the most censored media platforms in the world, and then like, why did he say that? Why did he respond rationally? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't had any fruit. I haven't had any fruit in 2 days. All I had to eat today was eggs, yellowtail tuna, milk, more eggs, cheese and honey, and more milk. That's all I had today. The raw honey is already enzymes. It's bee vomit. That's what honey is. So bees have partially digested whatever and they throw it up, and that's what honey is. It's bee vomit essentially. I mean, technically it's not, bee vomit, but it does go into a stomach of the bee and they do regurgitate it. So, um raw honey doesn't turn into enzymes. Honey does have enzymes. 205, 5'9", 5'10". Is it time to cut? Um, you know, I think it just depends on your frame, you know, muscle versus fat and your waist size. That's really what I would look at. Is weight gain inevitable on the diet? Yeah, pretty much. Sugar lowers cortisol a large amount is good for you. No, sugar is actually not good for you. It dries out the body. It agitates the nerves. It disrupts the calcium. Insulin spikes disrupt the phosphorus and calcium balance in the blood, which cause problems not limited to things like tooth decay. Um, yeah, I mean, lots of sugar isn't good for you. So eating sugar to self soothe is not a good thing. A lot of it, have some nut formula, have some cream and honey. That's okay, but like just to have sugar, Not ideal, in my opinion. Did I watch Resident Raw debate? Not really, no. I watched some of it. It seemed like it just was arguing and Bart K, like Leo would ask a question and then Bart K would just make fun of him. It was so stupid. Debates are so stupid in the health space. Peptide Gooner by Slonk. I don't know. What is that? Is that like a song or something? Let me look it up on YouTube. Peptide Gooner featuring Goonet Foyd, produced by Slonk. No. No, I haven't seen that. 5'9" and 150. I low key feel obese. Um, Congratulations, you have body dysmorphia. You have an eating disorder. You are severely underweight at 5'9" and 150. You need to be at least 165 pounds to have a healthy weight. Just know that being lean and underweight is not a flex. I mean, I could pick up most primals. I can pick up most primals over my head and throw them. That's how it's not a flex to be lean and weak. It's not a flex to be lean and weak and have the appearance of muscles through being emaciated and underweight to show off to men on the internet to look at how lean you are. That's the thing. Like a lot of these guys, they'll like, oh yeah, look at my facial structure. Look at my lean body structure. And it's just a bunch of like dudes commenting on it. It's really weird. It's really weird. You never see women commenting on these things. It's always men. And they're complimenting each other like, "Oh yeah, dude, you mog. That looks great." It's freaking it's mentally ill. What it is. Fastest way to gain weight is milkshakes. How do I make beef fat trimming palatable? Go to my playlist, watch the recipe video. I have fat trimming recipe video. I want the lean African tribesman build. Whatever, man. Okay. And then go live in a tribe in Africa. Do I invest in Monero? No, I don't. What is Monero at? I used to have some Monero in a hot wallet. I helped a friend move and he paid me in Monero. It was like $80 in Monero. And then I went to redeem it and they took the Monero from me. I was really mad about it. So it's 400 now. That's not bad. Yeah, it's gonna be real weird. A lot of weird stuff going on in the world, and I don't really know what's gonna happen with the economy. It's I've noticed everybody's kind of like stopped buying a lot of things, and there's no like the biggest boon for the economy is Christmas, right? Summer can be, but gas prices are so high. Who can even afford to like do anything or go anywhere? Um, Oil prices won't stabilize for at least another year. Iran could hold out for another 3 to 4 months. Iran holds out for another 3 to 4 months. That's really not because then we're already in October. fertilizer, which is going to affect things because most of the U.S. is in a drought. Wheat prices are going to screaming. They're going to be screaming. It's going to create a lot of economic uncertainty. And see, the thing about crypto is like it's an asset, it's a hedge, but it's only a hedge if other systems don't collapse because you can't eat cryptocurrency. You can't really use cryptocurrency fungibly. I mean, it's a lot better than it was 10 years ago, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, you're still having to buy everything with fiat. You're still like having to off ramp the crypto into fiat through some mechanism to pay your bills, to buy food, you know? So I don't know. I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, a lot of Bitcoin is driven by institutions now, but um, just gotta say, man, you look more manly and strong than when you first appeared on that documentary. Yes. Well, I certainly have filled out some, but don't be deceived. I was extremely strong for my size back then. I was able to do, I still am able to do handstand push ups, but back then I was in killer shape. I mean, I was in fighting shape in that documentary. I may not look like it, but I was in fighting shape. I could do fingertip push ups, handstand fingertip push ups. Um, so I could do, yeah, I mean, that's pretty serious stuff. I could do dragon flags. I was benching 185 at this time. Um, so I mean, I know I looked smaller, but I was trained. I was a trained fighter. I was not as weak as I looked. T. President Ron with the T. We need the Amish to accept Monero or Bitcoin. Yeah, not going to happen. This war will last till 2027 and crash the global economy. Very likely. And this other thing on the cruise ship and this UFO disclosure, there's certainly a lot of weird things happening. There's a disconnect between the numbers they're reporting and the reality for the economy. Yeah, always has been. I mean, we're in a recession right now. YouTube does not let me say chud. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a recent. They've kind of locked in on that. They've kind of it's chudism, experiencing some chudism. And then there's a change in the vibe in the USA. Everyone seems like zombies and depressed. Yeah, it's really bad. You look good with a beard. Thank you. I look good all the time though, but thank you. Yeah, I do grow a good beard. That's the thing. Like a lot of people can't grow a good beard because I don't know. It's a combination of them being. No, you know what? I know Resident Raw's here. I don't want to speak bad on him. Oh, what definitely not directed at Resident Raw, but it just takes a certain quality of masculine energy and aura to grow a beard like this. In college, I used to teach English to the Arabs, a lot of Saudi people, and which was mostly it was mostly grown men. Okay, it was like college age students or older, and all the men. And this was back in my college days. I had hair down my shoulders. I had a beard like this. I had a huge beard, and in the Arab culture, beards are what beards are like what, a lean trim physique is to a lot of, men in American society, the looks maxers. It's like that's what it's like in the Arab culture. So when I was walking around with this big beard in classes, the Arab men, they would raise their hand for help and the main teacher would come over. He didn't have a beard. Nice guy, young guy, nice guy. He didn't have a beard, but they would no, 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 no. And they would point to me. They wanted me to help them because I had this beard. And they would tell me I had many, it was weird. I had many men tell me I had a beautiful beard. They said my beard was beautiful. It was so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, I do look good with a beard. Thank you. Um, But yeah, it's not good in the USA. There is a lot of it's very demoralized. People are very demoralized and they don't care because everybody is most people are just struggling and it's tough. I mean, where I am, it's not too bad. Where I am, it's not too bad, but I can imagine in a lot of other places where a lot of people are, it's not good at all. Um, it's just getting worse either. I can grow a weak beard. Too many microplastics and poor genetics. It looks disgusting though. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. All men look better with beards. I don't know. I don't really think about men like that. The beard is nice and thick, very beard, much manly. Thank you. It's this is like 2 weeks of growth, so it's like not even that. It's not even that big yet. This is like what I do with like 2.5, 3 weeks of growth. Has it been two? Let me see. Let me see. I know. I remember. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is about 3 weeks of growth. 3 weeks of growth. I grow a beard fast. I'm a hairy guy. I have a ton of like just body hair. It's ridiculous. I have hair. It's like the hair's growing around my arm now. Like, most people's underarms don't have hair, but I'm getting hair like all over. I'm gonna be covered in hair. I have hair all over my hands. I'm getting patches of hair on my back, which are like I'm gonna have just like a carpet of hair on my back when I'm like 50. I have basically a carpet on my chest already. It's it's incredible. I don't know why I have so much hair. I mean, it's just genetics. Doesn't really do anything. It really just kind of gets in the way more than not. But I don't like the feel of skin without like when the times I would shave when I was like younger, I hated how soft my cheeks would feel. I hated the sensation. I'm very sensitive to that. Are you applying anything topically to your hair? No. At least I can grow a thick goatee. It's crazy to me when a man can't even grow a mustache. Yeah. If you can grow a goatee, that's good. Your hair looks thicker on your head. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Phoenix about this, and he said that he's seen people's hair get thinner, get thicker, on and off, like throughout being on the diet because of different reasons. One thing that's happening is like my hair, it smells like onions, and I did try the onion in the hair many months ago, like 2, 3 months ago. I tried onion in my hair. It made my hair look good, but I only did it once or twice, but my hair still smells like onions when it gets wet. It's crazy. And I don't know if that's because of that. And I've washed my hair many times since then with vinegar and eggs and water, just like, fully clean. But I don't know if it's something detoxing to my scalp. I don't know. But yeah, my goatee was thin and not filled until I was around 18. I'm in my early 20s and I can't get chest hair. Wow. Rip. I was working in my office with my boss around, but randomly hentai opened on my PC. I think I have hentai virus. How can I detox this? Yeah, so Ajna spoke about this. You need to play more Call of Duty Warzone instead of Fortnite because Fortnite is more concentrated on building. Replace the dairy cream with coconut cream and add in a teaspoon of lemon and just make the adjustments with that formula and you'll be good. I think if I locked in hard, I could fill in my hair. Maybe. Onion juice works really well, but you can't get the smell out. Yeah, I guess so. How would you put onion juice in your hair? What is the science? Onion is really high in sulfur, so it's sulfur is really good for the hair. Um, yeah, I was also curious if I had like the follicidus or something, or if it was just my lymph nodes, because generally it's like back here. I get like a lot of like lymph swelling, and then I have like acne, which it comes and goes. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I've been doing the inversion table more, but that's more to help with my hips and my anterior pelvic tilt than anything. So reminds me. You probably no, you probably couldn't hear that. Whoa. I low key think all that weed I smoked as a wee lad feminized me. Probably not. Probably not as much as you think. I made onion, garlic, ginger juice hair, and it helped my hair a lot. Interesting. You know how minoxidil is very effective, but it takes 6 to 12 months used daily for results. No, I don't know. And hair needs sulfur. I've heard sulfur soaps. Yeah. I didn't have much success with the rainwater and peppercorn method from Optimus. Yeah, it doesn't work. Obviously, minoxidil is toxic, but my point is that with natural remedies, you'll also need to be locked in daily for a long time. Oh, yeah, for sure. There's lots of sulfur in hot springs, too. Yes, that's true. I I think really with me, it's more so a blood flow issue because I've been sitting a lot recently, and my neck's got bad posture. Like I think it's more of a blood flow thing. So if I keep doing the inversion table, um, that should help theoretically, and do more wall stands. I used to do a lot of more wall stands. Um, so if I do more wall stands and inversion tables, I think that will help re-nutrify the scalp, get some blood flow up there, and do some more scalp loosening, which I do every once in a while. Not as much as I should, but I do try to loosen out the skin. I think that helps. Ginger and garlic are great for blood flow. Yeah, I do. I do ginger in my juices. Lack of sun also seems to have a link with hair loss. And I don't know about that. There's a lot of guys in Italy with hair loss, and they're outside all day. So sunlight as a vasodilator increases blood flow too. Is your computer on the floor? Yes. Yes, I moved my computer to the floor last year. Um, like it helps me shift my hips. I can do stretches intermittently. Sitting in a chair just isn't good for the hip flexors. I have anterior pelvic tilt, so basically the way that works is when you're sitting in a chair, it shortens and puts your hip flexors to sleep, and also lengthens your glutes and puts your glutes to sleep, which is really bad for your entire body. And I decided, okay, well, I'm just going to move to the floor because then I can do more splits, stretching, and that sort of thing. Not that I really do the splits as much as I used to, but I like to get back into it. But yeah, I experienced some hair thinning last year when I was vampire mode. Yeah, I experienced a lot of hair thinning when I went through my insomnia. I wasn't sleeping for more than 4 hours a night for like 8 months, and that wrecked my hair more than anything. I think it's getting better. I think a little bit day by day. Well, not day by day, but like month by month. It's probably getting a little better. I've noticed less shedding. So Hold on. I lost my dang plastic bag. Oh well. Were you able to do full splits, balls to the floor? Straddle splits, yes, but not lateral splits. The hair thinning I experienced mildly. Is there a way to cure tinnitus? No. Advice: what to mix with sugarcane juice? Yeah, you can mix it with anything. It's already pretty high in sugar, so I wouldn't mix it with carrot and beet. But celery, parsley, lemon would be good. Citrus, ginger, cream, egg. Also, I have no evidence for this, but I suspect gooning and cutting your hair is not that great for your hair health either. I think cutting your hair is fine, but I don't know about that one. Everybody asks Eat Raw Meat what to do. Nobody asks how Eat Raw Meat is doing. Sad. Would you still do a raw goat beef fat plus pineapple blend? Yeah. Um, if I needed to. I don't really need to do that anymore because I get butter for $5 a pound. So I don't do that. But, it's not a bad thing to do. You just don't need to do it, so I don't. What's up, E Ramin? I don't know if you mind us calling this by your name. I don't really care. How to increase bioflow? Um, you need to have like some carrot in your juice, and also make sure that you're getting exercise. That Yeah, pretty much bioflow. I don't really know. I would just do those. Bioflow. Let me see what. Just make sure you're eating fats, basically, because you're not gonna have bioflow unless you're eating fats. Oh. Fix dandruff, increase your fat intake, maybe apply fat to the scalp. Can we get a psychological analysis of Ed Goki? So I don't know who that is, really. Are there any replacements for butter in the diet? Yes. Here, I gotta go since nobody likes to look through playlists of all the videos I've done, all my hard work. I'm gonna find it for you. Go to playlist. You go to Primal Diet Recipes. You go to oh, we gotta plug in the PC. Raw goat fat with pineapple. Here we go. There you go. I've pinned it. Have a little live chat. Um, uh, how am I gonna do that? Let me see here. Did I delete Discord? I think I deleted Discord from the desktop here. Yeah, I did. No, you can't be saying anything too crazy on my channel. You can't be saying anything too crazy on my channel. I don't deal with that. A psychological analysis of Bart K. Unk doesn't want to talk to you on Discord, Egg. No, it's not that I don't want to talk to him. I've got to download Discord again. I've got to log in again. Because I did it. Oh, I've already got the setup. Okay, so we'll just do that. We'll just do that. Well, actually, did I even get rid of it? Let me see. Yeah, I think I did delete it. Did I? Let's see. It's not popping up. All right. We'll just try to download it again. Set her up. That was a while ago. Jeez Louise. Yeah, you're welcome. Barkay is he's just an angry old boomer. New Zealand. I'm kind of surprised he's so angry because usually those people are pretty chill. At least Islanders I met when I was in New Zealand. They're pretty chill. He's not chill. Let me see if this even will set up and download. I don't. There it is. Okay. Installing updates. We're updating. Chat has stopped. Are we done updating Discord? Oh, something's happening. You don't need to download Discord. You can load it in the Chrome browser. It's already here. I'm logging in right now. I am human. I think I'm gonna have to verify with the code or something. That is not invalid. What do you mean it's in? Oh, that's why. The emails are. Here we go. They waiting for you to call me. Okay. Well, what? Well, let me log in. Oh, okay. I gotta check my email. Verify that. No, is that me? No, that's not the right. It's I think this is it. Yeah, this should be it. There we go. Okay. That worked. I was gonna say, I was like, no, that's not right. That's not right. Okay. I think we're in. So what do we do now? Add me. You're talking about add you. We're already. Oh, no, I don't do that. Yeah, it's okay. Here it is. On video? Okay. I'm not really with this technology, guys, so we're not doing rap battles on this channel. You're not connecting. Oh wait, my sound's off. Wait a minute. Yeah? My computer was on mute. So no, I can't hear you. Thoughts on Professor Jang? Guy is dumb. He's an idiot. It's all BS. The only people that are dumber than him are the people who listen to him and take him seriously. Let's just try that again. Yeah. Yeah, Professor Jang's an idiot. It's really silly guy. My music taste? Yeah, guys. It's like just I have like a whole music playlist called Primal Bangers. Has 911 videos. 911 videos, 911. Remember 911? I do. Yeah, that's my music taste. I listen to a lot of good music. Check your audio devices on Discord settings. Brother. Oh, it's the speaker should be okay. Try that. Hello? Yeah, there we go. I had to turn off my desktop.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be good.
Unfortunately, the folk can't hear me, but I don't know if that's a problem. Maybe they can just
No,
it'll
they can
sound like
hear
you're
you. They
talking
can
to a
hear
gun.
you now. They can hear you
Oh, they
now.
can?
Yeah, because I have you running through my speaker on my desktop and everything's unmuted now, so you should be coming through.
Let me listen. Okay. It's good. It's perfect. All right. I was gonna say I said this earlier, but you didn't hear me. It was really funny watching you fiddle with Discord. That was
Yeah,
like watching a primate build a rocket ship.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Okay. I want to review your music taste. All right. Let's go through this
Okay.
playlist.
Well, that might not mean anything, but I pretty much have. I mean, I have the best taste in music in all of the Primal Diet. I'm probably the biggest music aficionado in all the Primal Diet community. I mean, and more than just the Primal Diet community, a lot of communities. A lot of people they just don't have good taste. They don't know how to find good music. They don't know what good music is. They need someone to tell. Usually, I'm that person who tells. It's that's been a consistent thing ever since I've been. So,
I think you would be really suspicious about my sexuality if I told you the kinds of music I listen to.
um, well, maybe less than you might think, but if that's the case, just maybe don't tell me.
Well, I mean, I do listen to some normal stuff, but there's some weird stuff I like to listen to. But I'm not into new age SoundCloud rap. I know you'd probably kill me if I was into that. But okay, I'm looking through. I see some niche bangers. Gang of Four, Damaged Goods. That's a good one. But listen, I can tell you've hit unk status because you don't you don't have the official Gang of Four song. You have oh wait, it's a remix. Let me listen to this. Hold on.
Don't do that on stream.
Did you hear that?
No, don't, because I don't want to get copyright strike.
You shouldn't be able to hear anything.
Okay, good. It's actually not
I'm
a
just
remix. It's a demo recording. It's an alternate version of what's on the album. It's actually
I'm trying
better.
to
It's a
listen
live version.
now
Yeah.
because I was gonna say. Give me a second.
People be
It
like, I
sounds
have good
very
music
similar.
taste, and it's like old rock and roll. I mean, there is good music that is old rock and roll, but like a lot of it really isn't that good. A lot of it's just like boomer trash, butt rock. It's like precursor boomer butt rock. So,
Okay, so
like,
the Gang of Four is good.
yeah, the Gang of Four is good.
What else? There's some stuff here I've never seen in my life before.
Yeah, I know. It's not surprising because I'm get pretty niche. So,
But I think you'd be surprised how much of this stuff I know.
not really, because this is not everything is not like super. And there's some pretty like not mainstream, but some known things. It's not. I mean, some of these videos have like hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of views. It's not like it's no one's ever heard of it in their life.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Gang of Four, for example, that's pretty niche. That's
No,
pretty niche.
Gang of Four is on like the 4chan music recommended albums. That's like
Okay, but
pretty
4chan,
standard.
I don't want to say 4chan is niche, but let's be reasonable here. 4chan isn't like super popular.
No, I mean I think it is not that 4chan's popular, but things that come from 4chan are popular. I mean, that's pretty much all of internet culture is downstream of that place. And they've put out lists of things like music lists and movie lists, and all those lists are pretty much like the benchmark for all the niche indie kids. Like that's pretty much where they all start. I mean, if you go through the list, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not That's not a surprise.
Right. Um, there's definitely some. Whoa, what is this? Yeah, you have some anime girl cover song, Dawn of Failure. Oh, this is some like SoundCloud rap.
Not rap.
Damn, I
It's
didn't.
nightcore.
Damn, I didn't know you were into this. I know an individual that would like this song. But yeah, it's very much unorganized, but that's fine. I have a playlist like this as well.
Yeah, this isn't organized by this is just good music.
Yeah, I never got into Marilyn Manson, but I see a lot of Marilyn Manson in here.
There's not a lot. There's like 3 songs.
I think unless I ran into him, I saw Marilyn Manson's name like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, you did. It was off his EP, off his first album, and then off his third album. I don't think I have anything past that because I don't listen to anything after Hollywood, his fourth album, which I don't really even listen to that much. But he has some good songs.
Steely Dan. I got into Steely Dan recently. I Here's the thing. Steely Dan is good, but for me, it's like background music. Like it's the kind of music I want to listen to, and I don't, when I'm like not trying to get overstimulated.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you don't understand how music works, then I can see what.
Well, for me, I definitely have like generally there's like two kinds of music I listen to, and I don't know if background music is the right word for it, but there's music I like to listen to when I'm like trying not to get overstimulated.
Uh huh.
And then there's like the second kind is like really loud music that's like the kind of shit you listen to while like smoking meth or something, like some shit that gets you
No,
hyped
I
up,
don't. I don't know about that because I don't do that. So I.
Well, I think you know what I mean. It's a bit of a figure of speech.
If you say so.
But yeah, Bjork. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely better than a certain someone I know. A certain somebody's playlist that I know.
Okay. Yep. So pretty much it. Like a lot of people left.
Oh yeah, four. That's brutal.
Yeah. Well, I guess people just don't care about music.
I guess that could be it. Well, I mean, it is getting late. 11:13.
Guess so. Yeah, I took a nap earlier, so I'm not really feeling it.
I mean, the Europeans are asleep now, and you know, I don't know how your viewership is, but you'd be surprised how many of my viewers are European.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really looked into it. I mean, I think I have like some European audience, but it's not like a lot of people. You
This guy
know,
told me to listen to "Bird Flew" from Lord Scooter. I've never heard that before.
me neither. It's
Oh, I've
primal
heard this
approved.
before. I've heard this before. This is a funny song. I'm not really in a rap like that though.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not into like funny songs, like comedy music. It's not really for me.
I'm not opposed. I'm not completely opposed to rap music though. Like I'll tell you this. I don't listen to rap music, but there are certain rap songs that you put on that'll like sound good. You know, I feel like you got to admit that there's certain rap songs. You know, like a little NBA young boy, like I feel like I'm Gucci Mane in 2006. Like that sounds good, but it's kind of like TikTok. You know what I mean? Like TikTok feels good to scroll, but maybe it's not the most effective thing ever
I mean, yeah,
or healthy thing ever.
there's decent hip hop. You know, I have some like '90s stuff on there, some 2000 stuff on there. It's mostly '90s stuff, like different Wu Tang projects, MF Doom, KRS-One, Hustle. You know,
Unfortunately, I was never able to get into Wu Tang Clan or what's his name? Doom, MF Doom. I was never, I don't, I don't know, never hit the spot for me.
hmm. Okay, that's too bad. Well, maybe someday, and then you'll have something good to listen to. But
Maybe when I hit old head status, I think that's when I'll like it.
yeah, probably give it another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but I'm surprised you like Nightcore because I do like some Nightcore songs.
Yeah, I mean, I just like good music. If it sounds good, it's good. You know,
I like those. I don't know if you remember when the Save Europe stuff was going on.
not really.
Well, they had like these very unique sounding songs they would always play over these like edits, and
Oh,
all of
like
them like
the MGMT My Little Dark Age and stuff.
My Little Dark Age is like not specifically what I'm referring to because that's like
Oh,
honestly like Loki like kind of cornball music. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. I'm thinking of like you ever heard of Bailando?
Oh, yeah. I didn't
That's a
understand what you were saying until you added the Latin flair on.
Yeah. I forgot who made it. Paradiso, Bailando, the Nightcore version. That's like the kind of music I'm referring to. What's another example of those songs?
Memphis rap scares me. Sopan. Um, if you listen to like Children of the Corn, that's like some really dark stuff. As like it's like that like murdercore rap. It's very scary. I mean, it's cool, but it's like it's very scary. It's cool because it like a certain way it has this energy to it, but it's not something I can like listen to a lot. But I respect it. It's
Never heard of
important
that
for the
before.
hip hop genre. Yeah, like 3 6 Mafia, Tommy Wright, Children of the Corn. They all came out of the like Tennessee, like Tennessee. There's like Tennessee rap. There was like Chicago rap, Detroit rap, West Coast rap, and New York rap. Those are like the main hip hop styles in the '90s.
You know, what's one artist? and maybe group you could consider that I really like. I wonder if you've ever heard his songs. Charles Manson makes really good music.
Yeah, he had like 5 or 6 songs, and yeah, You Got Game Girl and a couple other ones like that. He did write some good songs. I mean, but it's not surprising because he ran on that, Laurel Canyon circle, like sort of MK Ultra scene there in LA or wherever he was. So California, yeah, there's a lot of overlap.
Well, he has a lot of music. A lot. Like there's so he has the Love and Terror Cult, which I think is 18 songs, and then if you just look around the internet, you can find another like 50 songs. He has a lot of music. Um and then there's this album from the cult members. It's called, I forgot what it's called, but the logo looks like a swastika. It's not a swastika, but it looks like one.
No, I
And
think it's probably a real swastika because there were a lot of like Hare Krishnas and like Hindu loving white people in that era, that the hippie era.
yeah, and he did get a swastika tattooed, but I think he just did it because he was like low key just deranged. I don't know. He was
He was out
he was
there,
a little
that's for
crazy.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Back in the day, when people were finding out that Charles Manson actually made music, um, there were only like 5 or 6 songs on YouTube at the time. But yeah, I never really liked the music so much that I was like, oh, I need to track down the Charles Manson catalog, discography. No, I mean, it's interesting. He has more songs than that.
I loved it. Like the first time I ever heard about Manson's music, it was like about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And I had a friend who was like, dude, like, have you ever heard Charles Manson's music? And he told me, listen, you're not gonna listen, I know you don't condone this, and but he told me to listen to the songs on LSD. Huge mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake because his music is so like there's something about his music that's haunting, like,
Yeah, he was
and
a
it's not
pretty
like corny
deranged
haunting.
guy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But no, I was fascinated by his music because, you know, there's certain songs, like I'll give you a fun example. Have you heard of that album that's supposed to be like what dementia feels like?
nope.
Really? Never heard of that before?
I don't think so. No,
You've definitely, if you, well, I know you don't really use Instagram too much, but this
I
one
do.
of the songs was a meme. Let me find it real quick. Hold on.
I'm really looking forward to the new Boards of Canada album. I think that's going to be really good, or I hope it's going to be really.
It's called "Everywhere at the End of Time," and there was one song that like became a meme. But anyways, my point is like that album is supposed to be really creepy, but in my opinion, it's kind of just corny. It's not
Hmm.
that impressive. But Charles Manson's music, it's freaky. Like gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
But so he has this album, like I said, that was written by him, but he didn't do any of the vocals. It was done by his cult members. It was done by the Manson girls and some other guy, and that album is also like freaky as hell. I've used their music in 2 of my videos, and it's like I'm telling you, I think in those songs, there's honestly some kind of like MK Ultra brainwashing thing going on because, and I did this on purpose. In both of my videos where I put those songs, I had people commenting that the music made them cry. And I've had the same thing happen to me that like Charles Manson's music makes you cry. There's some kind of MK Ultra thing low key like going on with that music.
probably. Yeah, I mean, like that he was in that scene. So
Yeah, it's real interesting. I'll tell you what, you listen to the guy talk and he says some truthful things but while just crashing out, just there's like gems and like
well,
his
that's
insanity.
how
But he
that's how cult leaders work. Is they bring in with common ground and then they, you know, turn it up.
right. Well, the one example I think of is like when he was talking about money, he was like, I had all the money in the world 2 times, and money is fake, and ooh, and he starts talking about capitalism.
Money is fake. Well, where does that come? That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Man-made money.
yeah. Interesting
Yikes.
guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the thing is, as I've got, well, maybe you want to read this guy's comment on YouTube. I don't want to DNR the chat.
The latest 2 tracks from the Boards of Canada album. I have not. I don't even know where to look those up. Maybe they're on YouTube, but I kind of don't really want to spoil it. I kind of just want to be able to listen to everything at the same time. I'm gonna download. I'm gonna find a good torrent and download it in high quality. And my plan is to listen to it when I drive to the conference on the way down to the conference. I mean, I'll probably listen to it before then because it comes out at the end of May. But um, I feel like it'll be a good album to put on for the road trip. I usually put on like some Modest Mouse albums and um, maybe a Dr. Dog um, the Boards of Canada album would be good, and maybe some other things because I just have an old iPod that I have a ton of music on. That still works. I still use, but I don't have the iTunes. Well, no, I've got the iTunes on a hard drive, but I'd have to set it all up again, and maybe I'll do that, and then I can add more music to the iPod. But yeah, that's I like to. I'm an albums kind of guy generally.
How long are you driving for the conference?
6 hours.
Mm. It's gonna be a long ride for me as well.
Yep, yep. But it's nice you get there and you don't have to do anything. It's not like you got to turn around and go home. So that's
Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, it's gonna be good. We have at least 45 people registered, and there's like I don't know a dozen children or so. So I mean, there's gonna be quite a few people. We'll probably get to like 65 this year. So it'd be a
Yeah,
good
I'm
group.
excited. I'm even excited about the plane ride back because I got some video footage of a flight I took last month, but I didn't get enough video footage because I was like low key kind of shy about recording. But I want to just get some more footage for like a little flight video because I don't know if you've I'm sure you've flown. Have you flown while primal?
Yeah,
Have you ever brought anything through TSA?
no. The only time I
Okay.
flew was to LA, and it was a red eye, so I didn't. I just ate before.
So just for experimentation for me, I brought milk, honey, and cheese, and I managed to get all of it through TSA with no problems.
Nice.
The thing is though with the milk, um, they X-ray the milk and then they open the bottle and they put some kind of test kit over it. Like, have you ever seen like a piss, like how they test your piss or anything for
Yeah,
drugs, where it's like a little paper?
yeah,
They'll hover the little piece of paper over the milk. I'm
right.
guessing to check for like a gas or something like that.
Yeah, they're checking for ammonia.
Right. So yeah, they tested my milk and they gave it to me, no problems. And I managed to bring it onto the plane. And it was in a Gerolsteiner bottle too. Funnily enough though, so I had the honey in a, you know those like McCormick spices, like the conventional like
Yeah,
radiated. Yeah, so my mom had like a black pepper thing, and I just emptied it out and I removed the label. Because here's the thing, you can't bring any gel or liquids over 3.4 ounces. And the
hmm
bottle was conveniently exactly 3.4 ounces. So I emptied it out, I put the honey in there, and I gave the honey a little irradiated black pepper kick. So that was nice.
nice. Yeah,
But
spicy.
I brought it in, no problems. It was actually, funnily enough, on my way back, I left it in my backpack and I just forgot about it. Honestly, like I ate all the honey and the cheese at the place I went to, so like it didn't even matter. But I brought it back and they actually stopped me and they were like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just honey." And the very nice white lady was like, "Oh, okay, sweetie, you're good to go." So They must have thought it was like a pill bottle or something because it looked
Yeah,
like a pill bottle.
probably. Yeah.
But yeah, to me, it's
Yeah.
pretty telling that it's not that hard to get milk through TSA,
Well, now
at
everything's
least
like shut
domestically.
down. They have ICE working. There's no TSA working because they're shut down, I think. So,
I'm pretty sure that ended
oh, it did? Okay, maybe it did. I don't know. I just
because
the last I saw was just like, oh, there's no TSA, but yeah.
my flight was last month and I didn't have any issues, and that's why I was actually hesitant on doing this because I was like, oh, these TSA workers are probably like not getting paid. They're probably gonna crash out if I try to bring milk. But I just took the risk. I came like 3 hours early, completely unnecessary. I could have came like an hour before and had no issues, but I came like 3 hours early in case they weren't having it. But they didn't, no problems at all.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. I haven't tried to do that. I would honestly, I would just bring, I would just like make a sandwich and put raw meat on it and just say, oh yeah, I brought a couple sandwiches, and then just like eat the meat and throw the bread away. What I would do, but
I mean, here's the thing: the airport I obviously flew in, or like my starting location was Miami International. And
hmm
here's the thing: the other airport that I was coming back, I'm not gonna say where I went, but it was a humble little state. Um, a state with a lower, low population.
yeah.
The big states: Florida, Cali, Texas, New York. It wasn't any of those, so a low population. But anyways, um, it seemed like they were more locked in. Like I feel like Miami International just didn't really care. That reminds me, Agenus, forgive me, but I went through the like the X-ray machine
Oh yeah.
because
Ooh.
I was like, oh man, this is gonna sound so bad, but anyways, I was just like, I don't feel like getting molested today, so I just went through it and I forgot I was wearing a belt, and the belt went off, and he was like, oh, blah 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 blah, and then I was like, oh, it's probably my belt, and then he just like picked up my belt, held it for me, and then I walked past. If I had drugs in that belt, dude, if I had explosives in that belt, I would have gotten it on the plane.
Uh huh.
So they just didn't care. I feel like they weren't locked in Miami International. So
Hmm. I see. Yeah. It's Yeah. It's weird flying. You know, you never know. It's like because all the airports are different too. So
hello KFK.
yes. What's up? Very good music video. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. They got music videos. If it's like an official music video, that'll probably be interesting.
I'm not even gonna lie though, the flight, dude, I was actually terrified for that flight because that was the first time I was flying since I was a kid. And oh my good lord, dude, we had crazy turbulence on that flight. I really I really thought I was gonna die at some point. That was horrible. I got nauseous as hell as well.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. I hate when the ears pop, but I never really had too much trouble flying.
The ears popping is definitely annoying, but dude, I'm telling you right now, we started like getting thrown around, dude. Like it was rough because we went through a storm. It was rough. And the landing wasn't smooth either at all. The landing was bumpy as hell.
Hmm. Yeah, that sometimes it can be a little rough.
But the flight back was smooth as butter, so big difference there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, turbulence can get a little scary too, you know, but it's you know it passes. So,
This guy asked who you talking to.
it's Resident Raw. That's
Hi.
who's on. He wanted to do a Discord call, and I said, "Well, you know, I got nothing else going on, so sure, it's 11:30 right now. Stream it for an hour. So yeah, I'll probably, I don't know, another 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Not
Yeah,
particularly
I
tired, but
I extorted Unk into doing this.
yeah, he just bugged me about it. So You got it going. I was for a second I was like, man, I don't know if I can figure this Discord stuff out and get it working again, but by some miracle I did. So we're here. We're here.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm glad you deleted Discord, even though you needed to use it, because this app is a hellhole.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I still have it on my phone just for messages and things. Some people I keep in touch with, but like, I mean, I don't use it on my computer for sure. Like, I don't have a need for it. I don't really, you know, do any like gaming. I just
Well, I'll use
it could
the
be convenient for this, but I mean, it's not like I do it a lot. It just I like to keep my CPU decluttered, so I like will get rid of stuff if I haven't used it, so that way I don't, it's just not taking up space.
Well, I've used it to like, talk to clients and whatnot. But the problem is with Discord's new rules, it's like impossible. And also, dude, like, yo, I'm telling you right now, there's people that message that people that add me on Discord that I can tell they're on some BS. You know what I mean? Like they're they're up to no good.
Mm.
So gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I have it so that people can't like request me as friends and you can't find my profile, so it's pretty like locked down. But yeah, I know what you mean and um just have it so they can't even initiate that.
This guy asked this. I think he said this earlier. I don't know if you responded to it, but he's like, "Can I get a psychological analysis of
Yeah,
Goki?"
I don't know who
I,
that is, so
well, I'll give a little explanation. So today, I know somebody asked you about a debate I did earlier, and I actually had one today. It wasn't supposed to be a debate, but it basically turned into one. There's one of Bart K's disciples. His name is Eddie Goki, and
okay.
he's this young guy. He's like 22, 23, and he just he's literally a clone of Bart K.
Mhm.
But the thing is, he has mental breakdowns just like Bart K does in his YouTube videos. But if you actually sit down and talk to him, he'll keep his cool. So, I spoke to him and he kept his cool, but he's really like, like the Zeta potential in his brain is like cooked from like
What does that
all the
mean?
aluminum. Like the Zeta potential is like the electronic charge on like the cell walls, and
Okay.
aluminum will interfere with that, which is like that's a big reason why Oj says aluminum in a certain something, you know, will make you a little bit mentally retarded. So uh that was a mild joke, but you can tell he has some kind of autism. Here's the thing. Eddie Goki, he's not a stupid guy. He's not dumb. But this is the case for a lot of autistic people. You ever met an autistic person who's like very visibly autistic, but they're like kind of geniuses?
Okay.
He's kind of like that in a way. I wouldn't call him a genius, but he's very much obsessed with his carnivore literature. And one thing that he had a lot of problems with is me saying that unheated honey doesn't really act like sugar. And he asked me for the mechanisms and whatnot. And obviously the mechanisms of this isn't understood. So he just went crazy about that. He's like, "But what's the mechanism? What's the mechanism?" And I told him real simply, I'm like, "Listen, there's people with diabetes. They can't consume large amounts of sugar. They get problems. They get, glycemic problems. They consume unheated honey and there's no problems. What
Mhm.
more evidence do you need?" But he wasn't having it.
Mhm.
He wasn't having it.
Yeah.
That's probably a good question about unheated honey. So here's the thing. So you obviously know unheated honey is a insulin supplement, but
For some, yeah. I
so
mean, I even know some people who had diabetes and they were taking it for insulin, but it wasn't even like as strict, um, for quality that we would, and they didn't have any problems. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really have diabetes, so it's hard for me to say like, oh yeah, that's a thing or it's not a thing. But
Well, what I wanted to mention is that the vast majority of people I've known with diabetes that try unheated honey find it extremely beneficial, and they can use it as like an insulin supplement. But
Hmm.
I've known two individuals that it didn't work for them, and they have to continue taking insulin. Um, One of them, however, I don't know too well, and I'm not confident that they're strict on the diet, and they have mood swings. They have very severe diabetic mood swings, and he's mentioned to me like briefly that sometimes he'll crash out and like eat slop. So
Hmm.
it could be the case that he's just not really, healing well, something
Yeah.
like that. But two individuals, as I said, that the unheated honey just hasn't really worked for them. But the other like 7, 8 individuals, it works great for them. So it's pretty telling.
Yeah, everyone's
Also,
body's different, you know. I mean, diabetes is not everything, but it certainly is a few different things. And I don't think everything's going to be a one size fits all approach.
well, generally, what I see, typically diabetes is caused by one of two things. Number one is your pancreas is cooked.
Right.
And because of that, you can't properly utilize your insulin, can't secrete insulin properly. And then number two is you've just had a ridiculously high sugar diet, like 500 grams plus a day, to the point where, like, well, here's the thing, in a way, that's also related to a pancreas problem. Because you eat that much sugar, your pancreas starts withering away. So
Mm.
there's that. But, anyways, I was going to say something else. It fled my mind. Oh, yeah, I remember. So this Eddie Goki guy. So he's been carnivore for like 3 years. And I spoke to him about what he eats, and he mainly eats like boiled meat, like boiled beef, like I forgot what cut he said. I think it was like chuck roast or whatever, with salt and water. And at meat, he was at Meat Stock. I know Phoenix was at Meat Stock.
Yeah, we were there. We had a table and everything.
Oh, you were at Meat Stock?
No, no, no. But like Phoenix and Sam and I think a few other people. Yeah, and they spoke. They had a panel and everything. So they said they
So
had 150 people show up to their talk.
I'm not 100% sure that Eddie spoke to Phoenix. I asked Eddie about it. I'm like, did you see the older gentleman with a man bun? Well, not a man bun, but like a ponytail, hair tied back with a little bit of gray in his hair. Very attractive, strong gentleman. And he was like, maybe. But he did talk about there was like a raw meat table. I think he probably met Phoenix. He just forgot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But
probably.
But anyways, he mentioned specifically he tried raw milk and he tried raw cottage cheese at the convention for the first time ever. And to
Hmm.
me that was shocking because this guy has been carnivore for 3 years. He's been preaching health I think like 2 years. And he just now tried raw milk for the first time. And to me that's just insane. And this is why I said earlier like I low key suspect he's got a little bit of aluminum in his brain because he's been eating for 3 years is cooked red meat. And he has stiff person syndrome. So he's not a healthy individual. He's got problems, health problems.
Yeah.
So, I think that raw milk probably probably revitalized him. I don't know. He seemed a little less aggressive than he usually is. But either way, to me it's just telling because like how are you commenting on raw milk? Because he says milk is not a good thing to have and but he has said in his older videos he's like if you're gonna have milk you should probably have it raw. But like how could you speak on
Hmm.
this if you literally just tried raw milk now after like 3 years of dieting? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny that they'll say, "Oh, this is really bad," but they don't really, they don't know about it. It's like, yeah, raw milk is so terrible for you, but you don't even you don't drink it. So how do you know it's bad? And people who do, there's a lot of people who do drink it and they don't have problems with it. So, and in fact, there's some people who, um, you know, They like can't drink pasteurized milk, but then like they can drink raw milk. So
Yeah, that's the case for most people, actually, honestly, because, funnily enough, right before I hopped on the call, I had a video in my recommended that I watched, and it was this older gentleman who's a runner, and he tried a milk only diet for a week, and it was pasteurized milk. And he said day two, he was pissing out his rear end. And now,
yeah,
listen, it's not unheard of for raw milk to give you the runs, but I have done milk fasts before with raw milk, no runs, absolutely no runs. But here's the thing, I'm not prone to diarrhea. I'm not an individual that's prone to that. It's very difficult for me to get that. But I'm willing to bet if I had some pasteurized milk, especially if I had some like pasteurized ice cream, I would probably be blasting out the other end, you know?
could be. Yeah, I mean, I never had a problem with eating regular ice cream. I actually cut milk out of my diet because I just wasn't good, and I wasn't drinking a lot of it. I was like, well, why am I spending my money on this? But I'd eat ice cream. I'd eat a ton of ice cream. I really liked ice cream, but yeah, pasteurized milk. Yeah, I mean, if I was cooking with it or preparing, yeah, I would buy like a half a gallon, but I stopped drinking it in like 2017, 2016.
I always drank pasteurized milk growing up, and I was able to tolerate it for the most part. Like obviously it's not, it's not digesting well and whatnot, but I even remember when I first started learning about how, animal foods are healthy and whatnot. I started just drinking a bunch of pasteurized milk. And I also like I saw like an Instagram reel about the benefits of honey and whatnot. Dude, people like listen, obviously I'm not against honey at all, but people overhype honey to death.
Yeah,
Like on Instagram, people are like, honey boosts your fertility. It boosts your testosterone. It's the best pre-workout ever. They're like hype it to death. So I
yeah,
started putting like tons, and the honey I was using at first, it wasn't even raw, like labeled raw. I didn't even know there was a difference. I was just using what my mom bought. And it was
right.
like the teddy bear honey.
Yep, classic.
So I was putting the teddy bear honey in pasteurized milk. Because here's the thing, I always thought that plain pasteurized milk was disgusting. Always. The only way I was able to drink it was mixing it with Nesquik. And I was like, well, plants are bad. I don't want to do Nesquik. So I started mixing the honey in there. And like I said, I was using that teddy bear honey, and I would put so much in there to hide the disgusting pasteurized milk flavor. And I did that for a bit. That was like about it. That was about like 5 years ago, like May 2021. That's when I started like learning anything about food at all.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of information out there, and it's hard to kind of like, what are you listening to, and you just got to try out stuff on your own because, like, yeah, there's like studies and everything, but honestly, like, what does that even really
Well,
mean?
that reminds me, so a lot of the basics of nutrition that I learned, because let me tell you something. I don't know. Let me ask a question first. Um, in your years of schooling, did you learn anything about nutrition?
I mean, there was health class in high school, but that was pretty much it. Not really a lot there.
Did you learn like would you know what vitamin A is?
No, not really. I mean, I think at a high level, some of the stuff, but not like you would need to know to understand what it does or why it's good.
Okay, because here's the thing. What I want to make clear is listen, um the exact same month I turned 16, I was kicked out of high school and I never returned. So I never got past a sophomore education. So
Mhm.
like even then, my sophomore year, I only was like 50% through it. So um, I'm telling you right now, when I started learning about nutrition, I didn't know a thing, and I mean I didn't know a thing. I didn't even know what fiber was. I didn't
Mhm.
even know that people said you needed fiber. I didn't know a thing at all. So I learned the very basics of nutrition by like watching Frank Tufano's very old videos where he would like explain vitamins, or he's like vitamin A does this, vitamin D does this, and then he's like fiber does this. I remember I had to like Google search. I was like, what is fiber? That's how
Yeah.
little I knew in 2021. So I thought Frank Tufano's YouTube channel was like like amazing, like so much knowledge. But now that I'm older and I know so much more, I go back and I watch Frank Tufano's videos. I'm like, dude, this is literally like surface level childish information. Like this is so basic. Like he says the most basic things ever.
Well, he invented all that. He discovered that. So,
Yeah, he
but
might.
really, at the end of the day, that's why his channel was popular because it's why my channel is not popular because it's a very specific niche. It's a lot of detailed information. You need some background information and understanding. Um, it's like, but Frank Tufano wants to talk about like some vitamins and some very normie level health stuff, which is I'm not knocking that, but I mean that's when you make content like that and you're good at it, then you can build a large audience because a lot of people are going to understand it. It's going to make them feel smarter, and if they keep, it's just like a positive reward feedback loop.
Well, it's not necessarily that because um he started posting around 2016, 2017, and 2018 is when he got traction. And back then in 2018, what he was saying was really unconventional because in 2018, he was saying don't eat plants. So what he was in 2018, he was promoting a mostly raw carnivorous diet, including dairy. But he would
Hmm.
always tell people to be careful with the dairy. But um, it was very unconventional for the time. Really, also, he used to eat high meat. He used to eat like rotten meat on camera. The
Yeah,
thing is, and listen, I'm gonna be brutally honest, Unc. I know I've told you this so many times, but the reason your channel is niche is because you want it to stay niche. Because all you gotta do is change up the thumbnails, change up some presentation, and while you're not gonna get famous overnight, you could definitely like gain some more traction for sure.
I don't know. I don't know how to have that like mass appeal like because I'm just it's like well I just talk about the diet and how to do the diet and my experience on the diet and that's kind of where it stops so you know
I give you a little rundown, but real quick, I don't want to ignore the chat. I know you responded to this guy in the chat, Dark Skeleton. He said, "Is it fine to eat raw fish every day?"
yeah
And you said
it's
yes.
fine. Should I leave my mom's house just to start the diet? Probably not. Save up some money. Um,
Yeah, it's not
psychological
a bad idea.
analysis of Frank Tufano. Oh boy, I'm
I
not
can
gonna
give
go
a
there.
I can give that. Let me tell you something about Frank. I think he's an undiagnosed schizoaffective. You know schizoaffective disorder?
Yeah.
I think he's undiagnosed schizoaffective because he's not completely schizophrenic because I've dealt with schizophrenia and what he has is not schizophrenia. But he
Hmm.
has episodes. He has episodes where he loses his shit. I think he's schizoaffective and here's the thing, if you look at his old videos, he has crazy dark eye circles and they're not always there. Not always. Which tells me, and listen, I've done my own little. Ajna says the dark eye circles are usually like poor liver function. Here's a couple things about that. In my own testing, sleep deprivation undoubtedly gives you dark eye circles, like really crazy circles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why that
Someone
is,
was actually talking about this earlier. They were asking me about eye circles and eye bag.
mhm.
Oh.
My eye bags will almost entirely go away if I put on weight and I get good sleep.
Yeah.
Um, if I'm skinny and I don't sleep, I'll look crazy. I'll look crazy as hell. And I have photos on my phone of what I look like sleep deprived and not sleep deprived. And you can see in my eyes, like it looks crazy. Like I literally look deranged when I don't sleep. But anyways, um, your liver stops functioning properly if you've been awake for longer than like 24 hours. Like it causes like really bad uh, liver dysfunction. But anyways, I don't think Frank was sleeping, and he says it himself because he had double jaw surgery. That's why he got allergic to the EMF and stuff. So I think he just wasn't sleeping and he developed schizophrenia, or it like
Mm.
worsened his underlying symptoms. I think that's what happened to him.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's sleeping much now either with all his pain and everything, and he can't breathe. Right?
Well, actually, what he says now is he sleeps all day. But you know
Oh,
what it is? I don't know if you know this. If you don't know this, I'm gonna drop some lore on you. You know he's addicted to what is essentially gas station fentanyl.
what?
He's addicted to opioids. You don't know that?
Well, I mean, it's not. I didn't know that, but it's certainly not surprising if he was in a lot of pain all the time.
Let me give you the rundown on this. You ever heard of 7-O?
No,
It's called 7 hydroxy. Never heard of it before.
no, I have not.
Okay, let me give you a little run on this. So, I know, I know you're not into, I know you're not in the drug space at all. But are you aware that very commonly? Let me back up a little bit. So, are you aware that there are multiple types of drugs in one class that basically do the same thing? Like,
Yeah, I know there's like workarounds where they change like one component and like, oh, that's not actually, THC or whatever. It's this other thing. And so we can
right,
sell it because it's not regulated. I mean, I know that goes on, but
right. So look, like morphine and heroin are essentially the same drug. There are like some minor little itty bitty different, but it's like the difference between Coca Cola and Pepsi. Some people tell me the difference between Coca Cola and Pepsi is very severe. I haven't had either in a very long time, so I don't remember, but I do remember they both taste like pool water. But anyways, um, very similar. And they're always releasing these new drugs that are a legal workaround. Like I'm sure you've heard of like Delta 8 weed. You've probably seen it on like a
yeah,
store
I've
or
seen the
something.
signs at the health food stores and everything.
Right. So the Delta 8 is one example. That's like basically legal weed. 7-O, 7 hydroxy is honestly the craziest legal high I've seen in a very long time because while Delta 8 gets you stoned, it gets you intoxicated, it is a notably less potent drug than Delta 9 THC, the real stuff. Um, the 7 hydroxy stuff, the 7-O, it is genuinely more powerful than morphine and heroin. It is an extraordinarily powerful opioid drug. And I'm not going to snitch on them, but I do know a certain individual that if you guys knew who this was, you'd be so shocked, but I know snitch. But I know a certain individual that was addicted to 7-O, and they told me that it was hell on earth when they withdrawed. Like they wanted to kill them. I probably shouldn't say it on YouTube, but they wanted to no longer be on this planet anymore. Like very
Yeah.
serious. They were like, it was a horrible withdrawal for them. Um, and Frank Tufano takes this on a daily basis. And the craziest thing, this like the craziest thing, if you he has a supplement, he has a supplement website. If you go to his supplement website and you place an order over $135, he gives you a free sample of 7 hydroxy, 3 pills.
Oh man, that's ridiculous.
3 pills, 14 milligrams each. And you're supposed to take half. So let me tell you a little bit about the dosing. So generally for 7-O, like 20 milligrams will get you like, that's like you'll be high as hell. Anything over like 25, that's like you could like genuinely like stop breathing and die, like overdose territory. His pills are 14 milligrams. So you could take like 2 pills and like be gone. So he offers a free sample of this. It's just deranged. He is genuinely addicted to these pills and he's always talking about it. He's recently like spoken about where he's like, "Oh, the reason why they're trying to ban opioids is because they hate you and they want you to suffer and they want you to go through pain." He's literally addicted to these goddamn pills, dude. It's crazy.
That's ridiculous. I didn't know that. Wow.
And that's why he sleeps now because he says that he sleeps like 14, 18 hours a day
Well,
and he
yeah,
says this because of his eye
when you're
surgery.
addicted to that, yeah, it's
Here's the
a bad
funny
place
thing.
to be.
Most people that are addicted to an opioid, they need This kind of funny to use the word supplement, but they need to supplement with like meth or like crack or something like that because the opioid is too sedating. It makes you useless. Like it just turns you into a literal zombie, which is why functional addicts. You've probably met one in your life. They're around. You know, like a dude that works a normal job, but he like literally smoked fentanyl and like well, fentanyl wasn't around when you were a wee lad, but uh, they'll smoke like heroin or something, and then they'll like smoke meth later on to like keep their energy going.
Yeah.
These people exist. These
Yeah.
people exist.
Yeah.
And Frank Tufano doesn't use any meth, so that's why he just sleeps all day. He's literally on basically what is legal fentanyl. And I don't like using the word legal morphine or legal heroin to describe 7-0 because it is literally more potent than both heroin and morphine. It's an
Right.
extremely potent opioid. It's pretty insane this thing is legal. It's getting banned very quickly though. Like they realize it's a big problem. Like it's getting banned. It's banned in about 75% of the country now.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. It sounds, yeah. You just can't be selling that at gas stations. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a big problem.
Yeah, drugs are bad. That's why you don't do drugs. And just do the primal diet. You don't need drugs. That's simple. Oh, Pepsi is
It's not
blue.
a
Coca Cola is red. X. What do I do if I eat liver and I feel like weird stomach contraction and heaviness and nauseous? Is it a liver detox? I don't know what that is. I mean, if you're eating the meat cold, that could have something to do with it. This diet has me sleeping much less. Now I sleep 8, 10 hours if deprived. Yeah, when I started, of course, I didn't have dairy for the first few years, but I was sleeping less, but I was more well rested. I was sleeping like 7 hours, but I felt like I was sleeping like normal, sleep time, and I was waking up with a lot of energy and everything. But then once I started incorporating more fat, I started to have more sleepiness and sleeping more, except when I had insomnia. But and that's common for some people. Um, does sounds in the stomach after dairy mean it's digesting, or is that bad? Happens to me all the time. Um, I don't know if there's pain. That's probably bad, but I have stomach. Most of my stomach noises are when I'm hungry. It sounds like the Doom monsters, like in Doom One, like the gurgling monster. It just sounds like they just recorded someone's stomach gurgling and made it a monster sound. It's pretty funny when it happens, but yeah, I mean, just make sure you're sipping your milk and probably not drinking it cold. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always say like if there's no pain, there's really nothing to be worried about. I mean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, but people are like low key, like, I don't want to be mean, but that's a silly question because, like, bro, your stomach always makes noises. Like, come on, like your stomach is always just. If you're skinny, especially, your stomach will make noises. I'll tell you this. Now that I'm a little chub, I got a little fat on me. The only time my stomach will make noise is if I haven't eaten in an extremely long time. If I haven't
Yeah,
eaten in like, over 10 hours, my stomach starts doing a little rumbling. But otherwise, there's no noises coming from my stomach. Like, I vividly remember when I was real skinny. I was 125 when I was young. Every waking second of my life, my stomach was making noises, and that's because you don't have any fat to like trap in the noises.
yeah. Stomach sounds are normal. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, like I said, as long as there's no pains or anything. Like I've had instances where I had like stomach pains and some noise, but they would go away. Like it hasn't happened a lot, but I've had like shooting and stabbing pains like in like my liver area. Like I would just get this like all of a sudden just like this really intense pain out of nowhere. Like I'd be doing what is it? Coaching for like um I can't even think of it. Personal training. personal training coaching with a client, and one day, like I was taking him through his warm up, and then like my stomach just started like hurting really bad, and it was so bad like I had to clutch my side, and I almost like took a knee, and he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like it'll pass," and then eventually like it passed, but yeah, like that's happened a few times to me, and I don't know why, but it went away, and that was it. And it was a normal day. I mean, I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. Should I take social money so I can move out? Um, no, you should probably get a job before you move out because you need, like, if you're going to move out, you need to learn how to work and have a job. Because otherwise, if you move out and you get social money, then you're dependent on the government. And if you lose that money, then what are you going to? You're going to move back in with your mom. You're going to be right back where you started. See if you can get social money while you live with your mom. Um, yeah, do that, and then you can do the diet. Get a job so you can do the diet. Doesn't sound
You
like
know,
you
I
really
hate.
wanna do the diet. I mean, I don't know, I don't get what it is with these people who are just like, "Oh, like, I don't have money to do the diet." It's like, "Do you have a job?" It's like, "No, I live with my parents." It's like, "Dude, get a job." Like,
You know, I hate to say this, and I hate to burst people's bubble, but honestly, if you want to be realistic, like when you're young, like under the age of 20, main thing you got to focus on is making money. Like, I know that's kind of like I don't. Bart K called me homophobic, or he called me like I don't want to get accused of that, but it's a little gay to say, yeah, you got to make money, but like, dude, what choice do you have? Like it's really unrealistic to say that you're just gonna, I don't know, hunt in the wilderness or like, I don't know, become an entrepreneur or something like that. It's just unrealistic. Like at that age, you got to just focus on making money because that's the only way you're ever going to be able to do this diet properly.
yeah.
Because if you don't have that income, you're cooked. You gotta like, and I know from experience, dude. Like, you know, like last year when I was working those not so good jobs, dude. I had to cut so many corners. Like there'd be days where I would eat nothing but a potato and butter because that was extremely cheap, and that was
Mhm.
brutal. That was brutal. But yeah, you gotta lock in. You gotta make money, dude.
Yeah.
Even though it's money's kind of evil and capitalism sucks, but what choice are you gonna do? What choice do you have?
I mean, you don't really have to make a lot of money. You can go woof and learn skills and get food that way. I mean, you can go woof and work on Healthfully Farm, and that's a primal farm. And then like,
Well,
so
but to play devil's advocate, let's say you're in my position. You live in Florida. You have no family that cares about you. You have no money. How are you going to get to Healthfully Farms?
hitchhike or something.
Well, that's going to
Take
take you like 3 weeks, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, you can save up some money and take a Greyhound bus. You know, um, it's
Yeah.
where there's a will, there's a way. Um,
Yeah. What I will say is, though, I do agree with that statement. I mean, just, walk into Healthfully Farms a little crazy, but um, for me, like I locked in big time. I locked in big time when I first started doing this diet to make money, to feed myself. I locked in hard. And I don't regret it. You know what I actually regret? I regret my unemployment. Um, I had bouts of unemployment where I may or may not have mostly shoplifted to sustain myself.
uh huh.
And what I should have done is just, well, I mean, it kind of sucks because low key I would have been trapped working like fast food for like 4 or 5 years. But what I should have done, dude, is just maintained a job, saved up as much money as possible, throw whatever extra money I have into Bitcoin or like stocks or gold or silver or something like that. And I'd be in a better position than I am today. That's what I should have done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
So,
hindsight's 2020. Live and learn. Um, yeah, I get it, man.
and that's genuine diet advice for me
Yeah.
because you can't do this diet without money. Because, in America, especially, it's true that you got to pay for quality,
Yep.
quality is expensive. and this is a quality diet. So it ain't cheap.
No, it's not cheap. Um, wow, I'm looking at the new boards of Canada. They've
Where's it
got
Canada?
a
What's up
track
with
up.
that?
They've got a track up on their Bandcamp. Maybe I'll listen to that. Someone was talking about that earlier. No, Leo is normally not here. Healthy fat on me for detox, but when I drink dairy, I get this uncomfortable rumble, but it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, maybe just change your timings of meals then. Um, why does raw milk smell like corn? Probably what the cows eat. I noticed that like milk smells differently, and I get milk from different farms. It smells differently. Some of it smells like cow, some of it doesn't. Very fatigued by only jobs I can do are office jobs or assistants. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather work an office job than like, you know, bust my rear end and break my back, honestly, climb up on ladders, stuff like that. I mean, it's not bad to do, but you're just gonna get sick of it and it sucks. So unless you're making like a lot of money, but you're probably not gonna be making a lot of money. Um
I I know this is easier said than done, but fatigue is like low key all in your head. Like, I mean, it depends to the level. If you're deathly ill, that's one thing, but like if
I'm
you,
not talking about physical. I'm talking about just like, oh, I got to do this again today. Like, you know what I mean?
mental fatigue.
It's not like, oh, I'm physically tired. It's just like I need to do something else. It's like this isn't doing anything. It's like kind of tired.
Well, I imagine that individual meant physically exhausted, like physical fatigue. In that case, what I mean is like, obviously fatigue is a real thing, but it's kind of a mental thing in a way because like, I remember when I was younger and not making the healthiest choices ever. I had severe fatigue before I started the diet. It took a while to fix, but I remember, you drink some coffee, pop a little Adderall, that fixes it. And that's pretty telling that it's kind of psychological, the fatigue in a way, because
Well, it's not really. That's not really a psychological fatigue. That's a that's your endocrine system not working well. So you need like a boost of those drugs to help spur energy in your body. It's like you're just borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. You're just like borrowing from the future. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this, and then my body's going to use up its energy stores. But then it's just then you're always in a deficit, and then you're always having to take that stuff to be like have energy. So
that's absolutely true. But there's like a big mental thing to it. I'm not sure how to properly word it, but to me, I've always found that with the fatigue, you kind of got to ignore it, and you can make some progress like that. At
yeah, I
least in
mean,
my
no, it's true.
experience.
Like you can do that, but at a certain point, like if your body physically isn't producing like the right energy and hormones, then like no matter how much your body's just not going to be able. That's obviously a very rare case. Most people don't really have that kind
Yeah.
of.
This guy said, if you're eating well and sleeping well, he can't imagine how you could be fatigued. But I'll tell you this: severe fatigue when you start this diet, a lot of it is you're withdrawing from stimulants and your adrenal glands are cooked. Your adrenals in general, like your glands in general, are cooked.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it's the first chance. Like for a lot of people, it's the first time your body has had like raw fats and real food, and your nervous system and endocrine system are able to like relax and start to self-regulate. So you're not functioning from this place of like, oh, I have to be like on guard or I have to be super alert because I don't have, the right foods. It's like you have to make my energy through these other mechanisms, and that's causes damage and stress to your body. But like when you're getting all the food you need, then your body can finally regulate and relax, and then that means you can sleep, then that means you can heal. And then your body wants to heal because it's damaged, and that's why you're tired. So if you just sleep and do the diet and relax, you don't overexert yourself, then eventually it'll go away and your body will be more balanced and you'll heal. So
Well, the thing is, uh, a lot of it really just is withdrawal because I don't know if you've ever really thought about this, but I've had these insights where I really think about the average individual and how unbelievably overstimulated they are. They're consuming large amounts of salt. That's very irritating. And then they're drinking tons of caffeine. Nowadays, young people don't drink as much coffee, but they drink plenty of energy drinks. And from what I remember as a wee lad, I remember energy drinks being much more stimulating than coffee. And I looked this up. I remember when I was really young, like that 16 age, I remember looking up, I was like, on Reddit, I was like, energy drinks more stimulating than coffee. And I would read reports of people being like, oh, the energy drinks might make my heart go crazy. And coffee doesn't do this. It's because there's other chemicals in there that'll like irritate you and stuff. So, it's even worse. People are drinking energy drinks nowadays. The average person, they're being attacked by these energy drinks, caffeine, other irritating compounds that might be in processed foods. So, and sugar as well. Sugar will do that to you. So, you stop consuming that. Of course, you're going to go through a withdrawal. It's like, if you're addicted to opioids like Frank Tufano, you try to stop them, you're going to do nothing but sleep for like 2 weeks. It's just how it is.
no, I mean, if you try to stop opioids, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna
A
be
real bad time.
throwing up everywhere. You're probably not gonna be able to sleep much. You're just gonna be delirious and have a fever. Yeah, it won't be fun.
Yeah, you're right. That's more so true for amphetamine, for like stimulants. Because I've had to go through very intense amphetamine withdrawal, and you literally just sleep for weeks. That's what it does to you. You sleep for weeks at a time. And it's funny, I don't want to make this about me, but I was looking at old videos of myself the other day because I wanted to make a compilation of videos of me when I was like 15, 16, and abusing drugs. I was literally insane. Like I was literally crazy. Like
Hmm.
completely out of touch with reality back then. It's crazy what it does to your mind. And what's interesting? While you're deep into like drug use, you kind of feel sober. You kind of feel like you're baseline, but then you look back and you're like, holy hell, like I was literally crazy. It's interesting.
Well, I mean, if it's just what you know, then that's what's normal. So over
Hmm.
time, that becomes your baseline. Not like it's like, oh, this is just normal. It's like a little kid who grows up eating, just like drinking only juice or something. It's like that's normal to them. They're not, oh, I can drink milk, I can drink water. It's like, oh,
You
different.
know what's you know what's an interesting perspective I actually got from Eddie Goki, which seems very true. He says that he said something along these lines. I'm not sure if he perfectly worded this, but basically what he was saying is that health officials feed children fruit juices like apple juice and Coca-Cola and anything sweet like that, so that children associate hydration with sweetness. And it's very possible a big reason why a lot of people that start primal or a lot of people that try to eat healthy and try to incorporate raw foods get addicted to fruit juices. Because I'm sure you've noticed this. Face IQ now, he spams orange juice. Um, Paul Saldino, he doesn't go too crazy with the juices, but he'll drink orange juice. Um,
Well, he eats
I've
a
met
ton of
numerous,
fruit too. I mean, it's the same thing.
right? But the fruit juice is different, man. The fruit juice is literally like a drug. It's insanity because
It's worse. I mean, it's the same as fruit. It's just worse. It's just like level two of like why fruit is all the reasons you like worse. That's all.
well,
I mean, because they
well,
do
here's
it
the
for the
thing.
same reasons. I mean, you look at anybody who tries to do the diet and they're not, balancing with vegetable juices and stuff. They're like, oh, I just eat more fruit because I feel like I need it. It's like, well, yeah, you're craving. You need a balance of alkalinity in your system, so you're eating fruit. But what you're really craving is vegetable juice, and And that's why people drink the fruit juice and more fruit, and it's yeah, it's not good. It's sugar addicts.
Well, here's the thing. Like I've drank more fruit juice while on this diet than I'd like to admit. And when I get fruit juice, when I make fresh orange juice or I'll juice a pineapple, I literally can't stop. For
Hmm.
me, fruit, I always have a like an internal limit, and it's generally like when I first started eating healthy, I couldn't limit myself with fruit. I would just eat disgusting amounts of fruit. But about a year later, when my enzymes were all in check, I had a very I had a fruit limit. It'd be like 3 or 4 dates at most. A few bites of pineapple. When it comes to eating that fruit, because listen, the only fruit I've ever really eaten is pineapple, dates. I used to eat apples. That's about it. Every other fruit I think is disgusting. But I definitely have a limit. But when it comes to the fruit juice, I can't stop. It's crazy. Can't stop.
Mm. Yeah, I mean
But
it's really easy to. It's I think it's just because the fiber's not there to help with the insulin response. Like you're just drinking juice, it's just like straight sugar, and it just makes your brain go crazy, like a crave, like a devouring sort of. But with
well,
the fiber and the fruit, like for me, it does make you more full. But with the juice, it doesn't make you full.
I gotta say, drinking sugar is honestly like the most drug-like effect I think you can pick up from a food. Honestly, like
Yeah,
any
probably.
any liquid sugar like that you consume will just alter your state of mind very dramatically, just
Hmm.
very dramatically, because a cup of orange juice will have less carbohydrates in it than like a pound of potatoes. And I'll eat a pound of potato and I gotta go to sleep. I'll drink a cup of orange juice and it feels like I just popped a 10 milligram Adderall, you know? It's
Hmm.
crazy. So completely different to drink stuff like that. But a little off topic, but recently I've been like really studying those like alkalizing minerals like real deeply. And I've come to the realization that like, Algina says vegetable juice alkalizes the blood. And I think you know this, but what he really is meaning is those alkalizing minerals will bind to those acidic heavy metals. Because
Yeah, the free radicals. Yeah.
the blood pH is really closely regulated.
Yeah.
And over alkalinity, like dangerous levels of over alkalinity, is like essentially impossible. Like you'd have to do it with some kind of drug, some kind of pharmaceutical. But over acidity could be reasonably achieved with a very poor diet. But point being, it's really those
Acidosis. Yeah.
yeah, acidosis. Yeah, yeah. That could be reasonably achieved. It would still be incredibly difficult. The over alkalinity, like I said, you'd need some kind of pharmaceutical drug to induce that. But yeah, those alkalizing minerals are so important for binding to those acidic compounds. And I realized like, dude, those alkalizing minerals are like low key everything because they'll even like bind to heavy metals that are attacking your teeth, trying to
Hmm.
give you cavities. It's so unbelievably crucial. Like people that reject the juice or people that neglect the juice just have no understanding of these minerals because listen, I've always known they're important, but recently I've been looking really deep into them because I also got into dentistry stuff lately because I want to write like a really professional guide on a lot of different medical work. So I'm starting with dentistry, and then eventually I want to basically write a guide on if you just like took a bullet and you got to go to the hospital, what do you do? So I've been looking into the dentistry stuff, and that's where like that kind of opened my mind to just how important these alkalizing minerals are. So it's they're cracked. They're important. They're crucial.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you do the juices, you understand. And like, for instance, having the beets with the tops in them, and maybe some Swiss chard or something. In addition to like the celery, like people just you just drink celery and it just doesn't do it. Like, you got to have those other things in there, the parsley, and like it makes it twice as effective. Because otherwise, if you just try to drink plain celery juice, you need to drink so much more juice. It's ridiculous. And then it's like
I
not
gotta
even good
say,
for your teeth, like because Like when you eat, it's like okay, it's juice, but it still is gonna put your saliva in like in acidic mode because it's like you're eating food, so it's not good to like sip on a lot of vegetable juice. You kind of don't want to like you kind of want to like drink it like kind of fast, because otherwise like you're just gonna be melting your teeth away.
I gotta say, plain celery juice feels very hydrating, but nothing more than that. It doesn't really feel beneficial other than it's very hydrating. But as
Yeah,
soon as
it's
you add
nice
the
to drink. It
parsley,
goes down smooth, but it's like you got to drink a lot of it if you're trying to like really get your app. At least in my
right?
experience.
But I was gonna say, as soon as you add in the parsley, you can definitely tell there's like some kind of very severe mineral increase, like a
Yeah,
very dramatic, increase in the mineral content, and it feels quite different. But all the juices have extremely different roles in my experience, and I start altering my juice depending on what I'm doing.
yeah.
Recently, because I'm trying to get fat, I've been putting the carrot in the juice,
Hmm.
and I really like that. I really like a mixture of like give or take like 75% celery, and then the rest is like a mixture of carrot and parsley, and I really like that mixture.
Yeah, carrot really helps with the like yeah, the pond water taste of the parsley. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say that the parsley, I will say it's not gross, but the parsley does. Plain celery juice tastes better, in my opinion, than
yeah,
celery with
obviously
parsley.
with the parsley, but yeah, I mean if you add enough sweetness, it's sort of a neutral flavor.
What I will say is when I'm doing parsley and celery only, to kind of cut back with that pond water taste, you just add little tiny smidge of honey. And I mean, generally, most people do that when they're storing large amounts of it because the honey helps preserve it a little bit. But I'll add a little teeny tiny amount of honey. I'm talking like, in an 8-ounce serving, there's like a little under a teaspoon, not much at all, but that'll kind of cut it. Because honey's good at like cutting through those like slightly bitter flavors. Like if you add just enough where it's not really like sweetening it, it'll like help with those bitter flavors. That's why people will like add like honey to their coffee, stuff like that. Helps with the bitter flavor.
Hmm, interesting. Um, so yeah, it's not bacteria eating your gums. You want to heal your legs, you need to eat lots of raw fish. Well, it depends on what you're trying to heal. Fish will help the nerves. You're always over acidic, that's not good. Celery juice doesn't melt your teeth necessarily, but if you're drinking a lot of vegetable juice for a long time, it may be adverse for your teeth if they're not strong because your saliva will be trying to break things down and it's not good to have that in your mouth. It's a good idea to rinse your mouth out with water or milk after you're done eating. Carrot juice is carbohydrate is sugar, so I mean if you're adding more of that into your diet, it's going to help you. Also helps you with bile detox, getting rid of that bile, especially if you're skinny. That's probably a good reason why you having the carrot juice because you're very skinny. It's helpful. So
Yeah, pretty much everyone that's skinny has a bile problem.
yep.
I've seen it in almost everyone. Like I know a guy who's not even on the diet. He's Somali. Actually, no, he's Ethiopian, but potato. Um, he's Ethiopian. He is 102 pounds. He floats between 102 and 105 pounds at 5'7". Very malnourished guy. And he tried eating raw meat. Um, he was never able to get his hands on raw butter. He could get raw milk. He tried drinking raw eggs. Every time he would drink raw eggs, or eat a large amount of fat, he'd always throw it up every single time. And it's funny. This was a long time ago, like 4 years ago. I told him, I'm like, dude, I know you can't get raw butter. Why don't you try Kerrygold butter? And he started eating the Kerrygold butter. Every time he would throw it up, and dude, this is so insane. This guy, he also had a chronic caffeine addiction. He would switch between coffee and Red Bull. And one day he drank a Red Bull and ate half a stick of Kerrygold, and he threw it all up. And
Ugh.
he said, and he sent me a photo of it. I have it somewhere, and there's in the trash can. It's like orange. It's like orange from like the food dye in the Red Bull and like the Kerrygold mixed together.
Ugh.
And then he went
Gross.
to the hospital because he had some kind of caffeine overdose where he couldn't stop shaking. And he went to the hospital and they're like, dude, you're fine. You're just like, you took too much caffeine. Crazy. But anyways, um he ended up just giving up and just eating normie foods. And to this day he still eats normie foods. And he's in very poor shape. He is 22 years old and he's balding. He has like really severe receding hairline and his skin is horrible. He's not doing great. And I tell him about the diet and he believes in it, but he doesn't really have a choice because he's broke. He's a college student, but he just doesn't really have the will. He's definitely like really autistic, so there's that. But moral of the story is, skinny people have bile problems and they need to spam carrot juice.
Yeah.
I did want to I did want to add though. First thing, I'm not 100% convinced that celery juice, like the acids that are formed after the saliva, are bad for your teeth. Not,
I don't think they help. I mean, I think if you have weak teeth, that's a bad thing. I mean, if your teeth are strong, it's really not going to matter because, like, if your teeth are getting the nutrients. But I think I saw this one video from someone who said that they lost half their molar. They were doing the diet of the cheese and honey and the celery juice and everything, but they lost half their molar, broken half. And
they were having
I've heard
celery only.
Yeah, and I've heard some other people who were on the diet and they had teeth problems, like their teeth kept getting worse, they weren't getting better. Um, and even I had some wear on my enamel along the gum line, which is not uncommon generally for people who like have had braces. My dentist was telling me this when I went like 5 years ago. He said, "Yeah, you have some wear in your enamel here." But he's like, I see that a lot in people who have braces. And also, I went to the dentist a lot growing up, like just regular checkups and everything. And they always scrape the teeth, like
Mhm.
with that metal thing, which is stupid. You're scraping off the enamel. So yeah, I'm not really surprised that my enamel was weak in those areas where I was getting dental scrapings my whole life. Um, so because it's not on every tooth either. It's on like three teeth. Um, but I think I noticed that problem pop up when I was drinking a lot of celery juice, and once I started having more vegetables in my juice, the erosion stopped. Yeah, so that had something to do with it. I also started eating more fish and a lot of oysters, and I've had people comment on my teeth, saying, "Oh, you look like you have nice teeth." I've always had like nice teeth, but I've just I don't know something about them. I saw the oysters I was eating; they're stronger now. And they're not sensitive anymore, especially where I had the erosion. It's all gone. So uh,
I will say, after you consume oysters, it literally, at least for me, it literally feels like my teeth are like growing like a new shell or something. Like it feels so incredible for the teeth. It
yeah, I
feels
think I
extremely
think
good for the teeth.
oysters are better for teeth, cheese and honey.
I honestly agree with that. I think that's 100% true.
Some people say
Um,
no, the cheese and honey's better, but it's like really like I mean the oysters are like a live food.
you
Like
know what I was thinking? The oysters create their own shell, and the shell is like teeth. The
yeah,
material of it is like teeth. So you have to imagine the minerals. And listen, oysters are continuously growing.
yep,
They're always growing new shell matter. So the minerals they utilize to grow the shell is inside of the oyster. And oysters typically, when you eat them, they die as you open the shell. So you're eating a freshly killed animal that still has all the active minerals and all that. Because here's the thing, while the like nutrient loss and the degradation of meat, after an animal is slaughtered and it's kept in a fridge for a long time is minimal, if you eat an animal fresh after it's killed, there's definitely some unique benefit to that.
Yeah.
And with the oysters, that's definitely the case. You
Hmm.
know, that those minerals that build the oyster shell are still in that oyster. So it feels so incredible for your teeth. And um, I'm willing to bet. I mean, it kind of depends because here's the thing. From what I've seen, if you have very, very, very severe tooth decay, the diet won't fix it. But certain types of tooth decay, I think you could honestly like reverse. Like for example, if you have a little bit of like dentin loss, you could probably recover the tooth if you just ate nothing but oysters for an extended period of time.
Yeah, there's a book called was it The Cure for Tooth Decay by Ramio Nagel, and he even talks about the primal diet in his book. But he says, you don't even have to eat primal diet. Like as long as you have, like it's like a quart of, dairy a day and so many ounces of liver and so many ounces of shellfish. Like if you eat that every day, you can stop or reverse tooth decay, and you avoid things like sugar and flour, and you back off on the salt. Like it's pretty he's like, yeah, just you can eat a pretty normie diet, but just if you have these foods, you can denutrify your teeth, and that's what causes tooth decay. It's not that your teeth, you know, whatever, it's that they're weak. That's really the reason they're decaying. Not what's causing teeth to decay. It's like no, your teeth are weak. If they were strong, they wouldn't decay.
I will say, from personal experience, milk doesn't feel like it's very beneficial for teeth. Like I've never consumed milk and I'm like, wow, my teeth feel so healthy. It's always been the oysters and the cheese with honey, but specifically those oysters where I consume it, I'm like, wow, my teeth feel great. And the vegetable juice also feels, it doesn't feel necessarily healing for the teeth, but it feels like it prevents some kind of like tooth wear. Like the vegetable juice for me, it feels particularly good because I'll give you an anecdote of one individual. It's an individual we know. We don't have problems with him, but so it's a bit of a childish individual. I think you might know who it is. A very spiritual hippy dippy guy. But anyways, um, like 2 years into the diet, he wasn't strict. He never drank vegetable juice. He consumed a lot of apple cider vinegar. He smoked weed, and his teeth rotted. Teeth like rotted out of his head. So there's something about the vegetable juice that like will counteract those acids that are being put on your teeth. Those acidic metals. So yeah, pretty much moral of the story is like for healthy teeth, oysters, vegetable juice, and cheese with honey. But as good as the cheese with honey is, I'm definitely like 100% inclined to believe that the oysters are like 10 times better for the teeth.
Well, 12:30 now. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts, but
Not necessarily. It was a productive, fun conversation.
yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks everybody for. I'll hit these messages. 40% carrot is maybe a little too much, but I wouldn't go over that. Beef suet bile is green, yellow, orange. Um, it might just be the type and quality of the soup. Try eating it with pineapple. Raw milk mouthwash burns the tongue. I don't think it's bad for the teeth. It's probably due if it's fermented. That's probably the reason. Not bad for your teeth. Gary Gold is trash. Correct. Never washed my teeth, but I do have pain. Um, Fluoride when you were 5 at the dentist. Yeah, I mean that's not really a big deal. Not good, but just yeah, oil pool, cold pressed coconut oil. For some reason, without the diet, I haven't gotten cavities or anything. Yeah, I never really started having like dental problems until I was in my like 20s, and I went a year without brushing my teeth. It's fine. Some people say brushing your teeth can cause tooth. It can cause gun problems if you do it wrong. tick allergy meat thing. It's all fake. I think it's just a skill issue. No, it's all just a distraction. So anyway,
Do want to add a little
yeah,
quick
yeah,
thought on
yeah,
that?
yeah, sure. Keep
Brushing
it
your
keep it
teeth.
clean. Oh no, the teeth is fine. I was talking about the tick thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'll keep it clean. But brushing your teeth super important. You know, some people can get away with not brushing their teeth, but honestly, it's so crucial. Obviously, don't
On
wash
the
with fluoride.
diet. Yeah. I think you can
I
get
would,
away with it if you're not on the diet, but if you're on the diet, it's pretty important to brush your teeth. Um,
dude, I would say like even not on the diet is pretty important because my teeth suffered not brushing. You know, as a kid, like my teeth started calcifying when I was like 14. Actually, a little younger than that. So I think it's pretty important. But there could be a couple other factors why that happened. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I think it's pretty crucial.
Yeah,
And the
no.
last thing I will say is I won't mention the name, but everything you've been hearing going around lately, it's literally all fear monger garbage. There's nothing to be afraid of. That's all I gotta say.
And for gingivitis, oil pull, coconut, cold pressed coconut oil pulling, and just do the diet. Um, and that will clear up the gingivitis. Anyway, yeah. Well, good talking with you, bro. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna end the stream.